I'm one of 3 finalists for the state for the Presidential Award, Teaching Science and Mathematics. The process was, it's a very reflective process, and it's kind of a humble process too, because you have to do a lot of writing, a lot of thinking, and a lot of analyzing your craft, the practice of teaching, essentially. And it was, for me, it was about a 5-6 month long process of putting together my resume, putting together, I think it was 15 pages of writing, and a 40-minute segment of videotape that I had to analyze and then submit to the Presidential Award website. And just found out a couple of weeks ago that I was one of the 3 finalists then.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's they obviously, based on my lesson and my reflections, thought that you know, that I exhibited some of the qualities they're looking for in a math teacher. So it's validation, I guess.
When I was in high school, my parents actually thought that I was going to be a high school teacher. They thought that being a teacher was some kind of calling, but I actually rejected it because people said, "Oh, you don't want to be a teacher. You don't want to do that." And so I went to college for an engineering degree, and I realized through the program that engineering was not my calling. That's not what made a difference to me. What made a difference was when I was in engineering classes, some professors just really grabbed hold of me and made it really interesting to me, and others really didn't. And so I started seeing the value of the importance of what a teacher could have on a student. And that really, you know, excited me about the idea of being a teacher. And so it took me a little bit longer to graduate from college, but then eventually I earned my teaching certificate, and it's not a decision that I've regretted in the least.
I had a very influential math teacher myself, my junior, senior year of high school, Frank Riley, that you know, inspired me to go into mathematics. It's actually a funny story that it wasn't, I started at UNI, I spent 2 years at UNI and transferred to Central College, mostly for an opportunity to be involved in wrestling, which I wrestled at UNI, but really didn't see the mat much. So then I transferred to Central, and I had redshirted when I was at UNI. Well, I got to Central and they said you could graduate in 2 years, but I still had, you know, 3 years of eligibility left. So I needed to sort of add something else, and at that time I decided to add education, you know, and after that, it was kind of one of those things that's, you know, a little bit of serendipity where I got into it and I was like, I actually like this. You know, I knew I had a very influential math teacher growing up, but to actually get it and do it myself, I wasn't sure until I actually got in there and started doing it.
My philosophy in teaching is that there really isn't too many things that are wrong to do in teaching, except that you can't do the same thing over and over and over again. If you come into my classroom, some days you're going to see me do direct instruction, more of a traditional approach. Some days you're going to see me with exploration and discovery. Someday you're going to see me with kind of guided inquiry. Someday you're going to see the kids reading their textbooks. Some days you're going to see them with the textbooks underneath their desk and they're just going to be talking in their small groups. Some days you're going to see the students working for, we may take an hour to do 5 warm-up problems and discuss it. Really, if you do the same thing over and over again, then you're going to lose some kids. But you're going to hit more kids if you mix up the styles and the variety of your teaching.
My goal is, you know, when I have students that they get a deeper understanding of what it means to be a mathematician. And that means not necessarily just learning, you know, kind of what is a traditional math classroom where you know, the teacher feeds you information and you go through a lot of algorithms and processes and stuff like that, but that I ask students to think and hopefully get them at a deeper level where they have to, you know, actually engage with the mathematics.
Very honored that I have this. I think it's outstanding that the Des Moines Public Schools has 2 teachers that are finalists for this award. It speaks very highly of the Des Moines Public Schools.